Our guest is Jim Stewart. Jim writes the Business Sense column for the New York Times. He's a professor at Columbia University, and he's written 9 books. He's won prizes ranging from the Pulitzer Prize, which he won while at the Wall Street Journal, to the Edgar Allen Poe Prize for mystery writing. He received his undergraduate degree from DePauw University in French and political science. Jim, you started your career as a lawyer, and then you moved into journalism and writing. What prompted that change? And did your liberal arts background have any impact on making that change?
I think I started out as a lawyer because I was trying to thread the needle between what everyone else seemed to want me to do and what I myself wanted to do. And of course, what everybody else wanted me to do was something which I think resonates today, which is gets you a good job and gives you security and makes a lot of money. So what were those possibilities? Engineering, medicine, law, and of that group, I thought, well, law is the closest to my interest. So I gave it a try. But to be honest, after practicing for a few years, I realized it was not my passion. And as I got into the world, I realized there's a happy coincidence, really, that the people who do the best are the ones who are most passionate about what they do. And so I thought back, what did I have a passion for? It was writing, it was journalism, it was being editor of the college newspaper, it was summer jobs working at my local newspaper. So I took a deep breath, I gave up the high-paying, secure job at a law firm and went to a startup magazine. With startup magazines have a mortality rate of about 99%. Everyone thought it was insane, it was crazy, and I've never looked back. I've had a fabulous career, I've enjoyed it immensely. I'm not an investment banker, I'm not a billionaire, I'm not on the Forbes 400, but I've done fine.
Did your liberal arts background, perhaps your dual major, prompt you to go through the thought process that led you first to make that decision and then to make it a successful choice?
Oh, absolutely. I think my liberal arts education has infused every major decision in my adult life, and particularly that one. I think that decision required, looking back on it now, what I would call intelligent risk-taking. It took a certain amount of self-confidence, it took a certain amount of self-awareness. It required me to look around at the world and synthesize a great deal of information to draw the conclusions. When I said I concluded that people who did best, who were passionate about what they did, that is a conclusion that it required synthesizing a great deal of information over a long period of time. And that is, I think, what liberal arts education really prepares you to do. It prepares you to analyze, to think, and to constantly learn. And that process, I think, gave me the self-confidence to do something risky. I say intelligently risky. I'm not interested in skydiving, but this didn't seem so risky to me. I mean, I was happy to take this step. I thought it was worth it. And I think I wouldn't, without a liberal arts education, I don't think I ever would have gotten there.
Your writing has been in 2 very different areas primarily: business writing, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and then kind of nonfiction, fiction writing, and mystery writing. Do you think that kind of represents 2 aspects of a liberal arts personality?
My books are nonfiction. They're different genres. They do include mysteries. I like to think they include thrillers. They include broader studies of politics, but they're all fact-based. But the question is a good one because something, and this is very much a product of my liberal arts education, a driving ambition of mine has been to bring the qualities of fiction into the world of nonfiction. I've never understood why should there be any difference. In fiction, the facts are imagined, or they can be. Sometimes they're based on real events. In nonfiction, they've actually happened. But to me, I studied fiction in college. One of the most influential courses I took was 20th century American literature. It was a fantastic course. I really learned to read, really read in a liberal arts college setting. And why can't an author achieve the same impact with a reader in nonfiction that fiction writers do in great novels? So that has been a driving force in my work as long as I can remember. It's even true in my columns now. I have lately been experimenting with, can I actually squeeze a narrative, a story with a beginning, a middle, and end, a plot, a setting, characters, can I squeeze that into 12 or 1,300 words? 10 years ago, I would have said, no, you can't do that. Now I think I'm pushing that envelope. It's working occasionally. I think you can do it. So I'm continually to work with this goal in mind.
How does French factor into your life? Is it still a major interest?
Language to me, how can you understand language without knowing another language? How can I really understand English without knowing another language? That's the question to me. Learning about French illuminated how language is used in different contexts and how English is used in a way that I think made my English writing so much better. So oddly enough, writing and reading in French, I think really improved my English.
What would you recommend to a young man or woman who's interested in a career in writing? Perhaps that person doesn't know what kind of writing, maybe fiction, maybe nonfiction, maybe journalism. What would you recommend that they do?
Very simple. Read, and read more. I don't think it matters what they actually study as a subject matter. I write in the business world. It's very helpful that I know a fair amount about economics, business, and law. I've learned a lot of that since I graduated. I had some courses in. But I don't think the subject matters. But reading is essential. Many people come to me and said, did I like to write as a child? And I said, no, I did not like to write as a child. I didn't like to write as an adolescent. You bring me someone who says they like to write, and I will show you someone who's not telling the truth. It is just hard work. The act of writing is very difficult. But I loved reading, and writing for me is a way of replicating that for other people, providing something for others to read that I hope will give them the deep satisfaction that I've experienced in reading what I consider really good works. And I learned to read in a liberal arts college, and to me, you cannot write until you know how to read. And reading does not mean just literally looking at the words on the page and knowing what they mean. It means understanding the craft of writing, the goals of literature, which include things like symbolism and imagery and resonance. What the four square meaning of the words is only half the story, and maybe not even that. And until you understand that, you cannot be even a good writer, let alone a great writer.
Thank you, Jim. It's been a real pleasure talking to you.